g'day, and welcome to Friday Facts number 434, and I have the Galaxy of Fame, and I have my famous friend. How you doing, Mojo?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing alright. So, today's Friday Facts, you may have noticed we launched Space Station earlier this week. Yeah.
Yeah, in case you're under a rock.
I feel like some IT departments out there in the world were quiet over the week, you know. People not showing up at work sick, you know, they're on holidays, pre-booked. Yeah.
Or entire engineering firms.
Yeah, that too.
Suddenly had a drop in productivity.
Yeah. People coming to work tired, late, you know, unproductive. Generally, yes. So, the Reaction Space Age launch has rocket past our wildest expectations. We have reached almost 100,000 concurrent players. So that means if you own Space Age, please, this weekend, even if you're not playing, just leave the PC open. Leave the PC open, Space Age on the screen. Okay, it's very, very important because although they've passed 400,000 copies sold, but they're going for a new Steam DB record because at 1.0 release, they hit 34,000, was the most players online ever playing Factorio, and currently they're at 95,000.
So basically tripled it.
Yeah, and I have to admit, as somebody who's been playing Space Age very, very hard for a week and a half now at least, and I've had access for, I don't know, a month. You've had access for 2 months now, a month? I don't know.
Yeah, 2 months, approaching 2 months.
Yeah, there's a lot of content. There's an awful lot of content. And there's so many minor things to, like, not only wrap your head around in the first place, but also improve and optimize and work out. Like, we spent a half hour prior to the Friday Facts talking about space tugs and the routing and the options for setting up our space tugs to move from planet to planet. Because there are definitely some improvements I'd like to see there. Speaking of improvements, that's one of the things they have planned. There's been a sort of open rumor that 2.1 is be here eventually, and it's going to be probably much like 1.1
bit like
was
1.1.
to 1. Yeah. So yes, with 400,000 copies sold, they've said thank you, and I appreciate the time and the effort they've put into it. There's been a lot of time and effort.
It's been a long time coming, and it's been a very different development cycle to previous updates, and appreciate that as well.
Well, previous updates, we've sort of seen what's coming before it's come, and they've got feedback via the Friday Facts, which I've really liked about Woob, that they get that feedback beforehand. By the same token, this has been much more behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Which means we've had things come out from, like, sideways, like the lack of friends on some planet and entirely different friends on other planets. And missing friends on the fun planet. Yeah, but also our space brains got disappeared.
Thieving friends on other planets.
Thieving friends?
Your floaty friends.
Yeah, well, they just got disappeared. They just got annihilated. Yeah. So yeah, there's been some big differences between open door policy to closed door policy. I don't know which one I prefer. This has been a great surprise.
Yeah.
But I actually think I prefer the open door policy they've had previously, and I sort of hope they continue that for, working towards 2.1.
I don't mind a little bit more closed, because in the past it's been, we know what's coming, and then it's just perpetually delayed.
Yeah,
because
there is that
either internal or other forces.
There is. Okay, I agree, but then again, there has been some obvious giant savings they've had in time by not putting in the development time into making something and then getting player feedback and the players going, that's rubbish. You should have done this. And they go, oh, why did we never see that? And then it ends up going that way in the long run.
Yeah, that never happened after the LAN.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like, having that player feedback, especially on a weekly basis about things that are going to be, the GUI, the character GUI UI has had not 3 overhauls of how it's been how they were going to set it up, but they've done mock-up images 3 times before they finally settled on the version we have now. And each time that they did a mock-up, people were like, no, do this instead. And like, oh, that's a really good idea. And it's been incorporated to the next mock-up. And then the next mock-up was like, oh, well, that's good, that's better, but, add and improve. And that's why we have the character GUI now, which is so much better than it was ever before.
So much better than it ever was.
Yeah. There's definitely an advantage to the open door policy, and I don't mind seeing features really, really early if they're really important. Like the pentapods, sure, you could hide that behind a closed door for as long as you want, because that's something you're just going to encounter. And good or bad, they're going to be as is. Same with the demolishers. They're going to be, good or bad. It just as is as it is. In saying that, so far I'm a little bit disappointed with demolishers, but I'm yet to fight a pentapod face to face. Yeah, I haven't made it to the multi-planet. But we've also has a Galaxy of Fame. So this week, Kovacs, Lucas, and Vinez finish off our last little surprise for Space Age, the Galaxy of Fame.
Hooray, a galaxy.
Yes. And this is very similar to the Dyson Sphere one. So when players finish interstellar space, space age, and reach interstellar space, so this is getting out to the edge of the solar system, not flying past that, you're invited to upload a snapshot of the game to the Galaxy of Fame. And you can upload details, map info, title comment, chart view of players and platforms, items, energy and kill statistics. And we have one here. We can look at one of the ships from this player group and browse around, see other people's factories, see how they work. It is map view only, so some details are going to get lost. And you might know some of the maps look a bit suspicious. That's because they're not blocking any saves that use cheats commands editor, because they don't want to be over restrictive. Which I don't know. I've many of my Let's Plays, I've run cheat commands, editor commands to like change it to daylight there and then, so I can take a thumbnail. And then I've ended up saving it, which is disabled achievements, because I don't care. Or I've used an editor command to change map gen to make it harder, because trying to do it with a mod can be done, but it's a pain in the ass, whereas I can do it 2 seconds in the editor.
Change map gen settings to make it consistent with the latest version of the game.
Yeah, that too, because my current Let's Play, I started on the version prior to 2.0, thinking like if I wait that long I'll be safe. Turns out no, they had a map gen change in 2.04, which means on my particular Narvis map I get so far, and then you have that hard line where these are brand new chunks, and now it's all desert. And it means that I normally share my map exchange string with people when I start a new series, and I didn't this time, because it turns out that if you get my map exchange string, even though mine is nice lush green pastures, you end up with nothing but hardcore desert. Just desert. Because, map gen changes. So, one Galaxy of Fame entry per player account. Uploading a new one will overwrite the previous one, and the option will be in the in-game menu after completing Space Age. Since the feature is quite new, there are some other details worth sharing. The location size and color shape of each star is random and assigned on first upload. Zooming issues on mobile are known, blah, 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 blah. And they'll get more features soon. So we have Galaxy of Fame, which is a star
slowly
system.
Populating.
It's slowly populating, yes. It also means that finding your star in the future is going to be a giant pain in the butt, for the record. And we have... we have Clonin. So Clonin, community manager for Factorio. Might notice he doesn't actually have Space Age in his mods list. So we're just going to move on from that one. Developer, privileges and everything. But...
Forest one's blank.
Yeah, I know. 300 hours played. 10k science per minute elevated, but this would be vanilla. This would be vanilla 2.0. So only one planet, Narvis. And
boy, what a planet it is.
Really, really, really likes his city blocks of trains. Really, really. Look, if you spend a lot of time and effort designing one single junction, you should probably use it at least twice.
Just use it at every opportunity you can get.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. And they're just roundabouts. They're just elevated roundabouts with a higher track and a lower track everywhere, and interchanges between the two. And it's just city blocks and city blocks and city blocks of trains, many trains.
It's actually quite funny because you could have made the crossroads, go straight over the top of each other and then use the lower level for the roundabout, like a standard highway junction in City Skylines.
Well, the problem is you don't have 3 layers, so you can't have
Yeah,
the
that's
north-south
true.
go
Oh,
straight through and the east-west go straight through.
Well, if the circle was big enough, then you could have it one like east-west drop down and then north-south stay up.
Well, you could have this one go this way,
I don't know
straight
if you
up.
can tell, but I've spent a lot of time designing junctions lately.
Well. I'm wondering. Could you have the north-south go straight through, elevated, have the east-west, right, go under the north-south, but then over the lower tracks, then go back under the north-south, and then back up. So like shink it out to the side, have it go under and then up and over, and like it's gonna make your intersections a little bit wider, but then it means that you have straight through traffic. Right? With no roundabouts, no passing, no signals, no. It makes all the
No
north,
signals.
south, east, west is they're all expressways, and the ground level is the slow track for all the trains that need to do slow stuff.
It has been done before, a no signal train network.
I know it has. It was scary and worked and weird. Okay, I think like this is interesting that we have like rocket silos. Rocket silos carry their map markers. Or actually,
Yep, so
everything
when
carries
the
their map
map is
markers.
captured, it adds map markers for all of the machines.
Oh, so you can actually zoom in and see what all the machines are doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't realized. I don't worry, but I've been out far enough that I couldn't see any of the symbols. They're all just blur.
Yep, it adds map markers for everything.
Oh.
It even adds any robo alerts get captured as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. So we can see your space platforms, which in Glennon's case is very, very empty. Items. Ooh. Yep. This is where, 1.6 billion copper cable and a lot of iron plate and blah, 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 blah. We can tell there's a lot of probots being used. So you get a full item list from the game. Total energy. I'm willing to bet a lot of nuclear. Look.
Oh dear.
There's
The electric energy interface.
Yep. Cheating right there. Got sick of building nuclear reactors. Yep. And total kills.
Big spitters.
Those big spitters. It's just the game spawns so many spitters. There was a mojo here somewhere, right?
Further down, there it is.
There we go. So mojo, we can see mojo's space platforms.
It's a quality factory.
Oh.
See?
That's the markers. That's a little bit big. So you can see mojo where he hatches the eggs. You can tell it's surrounded by lasers. Yes. So you can see Mojo's, current space base, I guess. The one from, I'm guessing, earlier beta release.
Yeah, it's the very old one.
Yep. So you can see his different planets and Fungola, and he built a bus on Fungola with just
with recycling.
Little bit of recycling, and
that's the start of recycling.
Basic items and batteries, and that's a fusion reactor right there.
That's a fusion reactor right there.
Yep, and making some science. Vulcanus.
There's Kevin.
Huh?
Yeah, there's Kevin.
He kept Kevin. I guess Kevin doesn't have any resources.
No, he doesn't have much of a territory either, but he's proud of it.
But why the walls around Kevin?
I wanted to see how close I could get the walls to his territory without it actually driving into the walls.
Oh, because yes, they don't strictly stay inside their territory.
Yeah.
At the corners, they'll definitely wander over. And I believe if they wander over and they hit something, they get grumpy.
No, that just makes the bots grumpy because they want to replace it, and then they sit over the top of him, slowly taking damage.
Yeah, from the smoke. Yeah. So yes, this is an old map gen where you get decent amounts of coal. That's gone. Sorry.
Where you get comically large amounts of coal.
Oh, look, just decent. Like
at least you get. Well, the old map gen also used to give you comical amounts of calcite if you turned up the generation.
I have turned up the generation. My coal is technically turned up on my current playthrough, and I think I'm getting like 5 million patches. That's it. And I'm an awful long way from spawn. And on Vulcanus, distance from spawn does not increase patch density or size.
It only increases lava puddles, which is sadness.
No, actually, it doesn't even do that.
Oh, not even that?
No, it's just like the same map gen everywhere, but it means traveling for resources is pointless, and it means if you get like this is your densest patch, and it means a bunch of lava, you're just like, fine, let's mine it as is. All right, small bot network, move it to a train, load it on a train, move it long distance, or just have the bots fly the crap all the way across. I don't care.
Big mining drills and mining productivity. Eventually, they all become infinite patches.
Yeah, I know. Hell, I've even started putting prod mods in my actual miners. Yeah. Gleba, because Mojo likes some mold.
Yep, of course. Yeah, you got your carbon fiber production, got your rocket silos.
No icons. Smelting.
It should be copper there.
Yeah, that should be copper, because that's iron, that would be steel.
Yep, that's steel. I suppose if it's not actually smelting, then it probably doesn't pop up.
But if it's not smelting, but it's full, it should still have the icons on the map. Normally. Like
I do like how the science is covered with construction alerts.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of exploring for not a lot of base, and then Aquilo, which you've said this is the older map generation.
Yeah, this is the old map gen.
So if you haven't got to Aquilo yet,
painful.
spoilers. Yeah, this is an older map gen, and yeah, not much of a base, Boneship. It seems like you need to go back and play more Ice Block.
Aquilo is a bit of a weird one because there's only there's no resources to make things outside of the planet's specific stuff. You know, the sea, and then the cyan and the teal resources.
Three resources in the sea. Yep.
Yeah. There's the 3 resources in the sea and oil, and not a lot else to really work with. So the Aquilo usually ends up being quite small.
Yeah. Aquilo is designed so you're sort of at the point where you can just ship anything to Aquilo that you need on Aquilo, and that's sort of how your logistics should be set up. So this is just playing with Aquilo, not really playing with like iron and copper and all that sort of stuff. You've done all that. You want pipes, and you want heat pipes, and you want inserters. They should be in space. They should be just delivered down. You're not making them locally anymore. You just
you can't make them locally.
Oh, you could. Oh, if you bring in iron and copper and stuff, you could set up a whole production line. But
you shouldn't, but you could.
You could, but you just have the ship sitting in orbit with a carry me 5 stacks of everything and just unload. And when you're done, bugger off, get them in a lot, bring it back. Yeah. We'd also look through your space platforms. Pipe pants, okay. Expedition.
Someone has to know that reference. I make it all the time. That's the one for going around. I stole that from. I forget whose that is. I stole. Possibly Code Green's.
Stole it off something else. Yep. Fast cargo shipper. A Moldy Express. So you see, the space platforms, they're unique. I want to see more detail, because every tile counts. So because every tile counts, oh my god, this is useless. Absolutely useless to me. The MAM, because of course Mojo has everything in space.
Yep, so whatever the planetary requests it sits over, it will just craft them, or try and attempt to craft them.
Yep, okay.
It's a bit unfinished at the minute. It can't actually fly.
Yeah, it looks like it can't fly, yep. And probably more cargo space, mate. A lot more cargo space. Like,
that's the stuff at the top.
Yeah, quadruple that size.
Yeah, as I say, it's a work in progress. I'm mostly sorting out the logic still.
We have a fast cargo shipper, which obviously gets around A to B in a hurry. The Aquilo brick.
It's a brick that goes to Aquilo.
Okay. The Go-Go-Mobile.
Yep, that one goes to interstellar space.
Super late game science. So, we should say that, yes, you get to the edge of the solar system, that's the end of the game. If you want to go past that, that's sort of in the mega base territory situation. It's past endgame. It's well past launching a rocket. It's well past making some arbitrary science goal, which is what people used to previously. It's definitely a little bit more effort required. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a bit more effort required to go past the edge of the system.
I mean, this thing can do it, but it needs a lot of babysitting to get past it. It needs a complete overhaul. This one's more of just sort of an experimental platform.
It can make it past there, but it can't make it to the end. We should really
it
clarify
can't make
that.
it to the end.
It can't make
They can't make it to the end.
And then we have Derpy, which seems like
it's a bit derpy.
Yeah. So we can see your total items crafted. Well, just a tiny bit of copper cable, all the way down to
all of the quality.
0 science.
0 science.
But he did make one rare rail turret.
Yeah, one rare one. One epic power armor Mark II.
Personal battery legendary. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quality is just gonna make this list a whole lot longer than it needs to be. A whole lot longer.
There should be quite a few legendary accumulators. Yeah.
There are 54 entries for legendary. You made some iron sticks that were legendary.
You gotta have iron sticks. Look for the real thing that you need is the legendary spoilage.
Oh my god. Electric crusher, personal battery, night vision legendary. That is pointless.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely pointless. Copper cable, iron plate, gear wheels, circuits, solid fuel, scrap, copper plate, pipe, ice, legendary ice. Okay.
Legendary ice is so useless.
The legendary concrete is also useless. Legendary stone.
Just as long as it's not damaged concrete.
You can't get damaged concrete. Brick, engine units, processing units, assembly 1, okay? Accumulators, 89.
There you go.
Helium ore, which funnily enough you turn into a liquid, and because you turn it into a liquid, it loses all quality.
It loses quality.
Yeah. Quality module 1, quality 2, module 3, helium plate, spoilage, legendary, 19. 19! Yep.
I've got like 27 now.
Zero fish. Okay. We see
now you know what I need to work on.
Power, like this is one of those. I don't know. Power is sort of like I don't care. I really
especially
don't care.
once you add quality into it, it becomes a real mess.
Look, it's not going to be nearly as much of a mess as items and kills. Look, I'm only going to be impressed when there are some legendary biters in here you're killing. Okay. Like. Small Stomper Pentapod Shell, okay? Asteroid Collector, you killed an epic Asteroid Collector. Congratulations, mate. I want to see Legendary Biters.
It was a group effort.
Legendary Biters. I want to see you kill a Legendary Biter. Preferably a few of them, because it turns out you can make Legendary Biters. We're not going to go into the details of why you might do this or how you might accidentally do this, but it turns out it can be done.
Yep, it can be done.
Yup. All right. So that brings us back to Factorio 2.0 and the Switch. Since Space Age will launch on Monday. Did launch on Monday? Yep. Launched on Monday.
Yes, it did.
We had a few questions about the plans regarding the support for the Nintendo Switch. Space Age is not coming to the Switch. Why? Because it just won't run it. They already said prior to 2.0 and everything else, prior to 2.0 having any details, that the Switch would run, but it couldn't do mods because of Nintendo, and it could do possibly up to a reasonable sized base, but mega bases were out of the question. And yeah, there's not enough RAM. There's not enough RAM to fit them all. Not enough CPU power to run it all at 60 UPS. Not to mention all the new sprites were added will not fit into their VRAM. But they are going to put 2.0 on the Switch. It's just going to be, you know, a whole lot of optimizations and moving code and blah, 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 blah. So they're expecting a couple of months. So maybe for Christmas. And yes, your 2.0 will come with a lot of updates for your Switch, which means bad luck. You're probably going to finish your current game before you update the Switch version. But yes, that's it for the Friday Facts. It's a short one. It's an interesting one. I was expecting they had something up their sleeve that we didn't know about in the beta test.
Yeah, I did say that they're going to pull something out.
Yeah, I was 100% expecting something. I wasn't really expecting the Galaxy of Fame, but it sort of makes sense. We've seen it in Dyson Sphere. Unfortunately, in Dyson Sphere, and I think the same's going to happen in Factorio. Like, they said they've sold 400,000 copies, and it's not limited to vanilla. It's not limited to not console commands. It's not limited to not mods. It is limited to 1 player per star, but it does mean Galaxy of Fame. This is going to be filled with, well, in 2022 they said they'd sold 3.5 million sales total at the end of 2022. It's now the end of 2024. And they're doing about 500,000 per year. So we can all agree they're probably well over 4 million total sales for Factorio. They've sold 400,000 so far. I'm willing to bet they're going to go much higher than 400,000. It's only been a week. So it means...
it'll be interesting to see what the sales are after a month.
Well, you always have that giant peak when they first do Steam charts, like giant peak. Like, and this was 1.0 release, like peak and then up and then back down, right? And it's like 3 months later, things have evened back out. We had 15, 18,000 players prior to 1.0. We're at 15, 18,000 after 1.0, like 2 months, 3 months later. So yeah, in a couple of months, we'll sort of get a more even count of the players, but there could be possibly up to 500,000 stars in this Galaxy of Fame. Like, that's a lot of stars to try and find your particular star, and more importantly, I'm the 3rd star to the left of the blue one. Yeah, what's the achievement? I don't remember what the achievement's called.
It's a movie quote.
Yeah, 3rd star and 1 to the left. I don't remember. Achievements, SteamDB, help me out. Lazy Bastard. No, not Lazy Bastard. Fusion Power, Nuclear Power. 2nd star to the right and straight on to the morning. That's it.
That's the one.
2nd star to the right of the 500,000 stars. Yeah. It's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be chaos. I was planning on getting.
I mean, it's already way busier than yesterday when it first appeared.
Yesterday, when I looked yesterday, there was about the 10 stars. You could see things fairly easily.
Yeah.
Even prior to, oh god. Even prior to, okay, I could pick out stars fairly easily. Prior to doing the Friday Facts, I stumbled on like 3 different stars that I wanted to look at. I went back to the Galaxy of Fame, and I couldn't find those 3 stars. And it required both of us hovering over each individual star to find the right name to then, go from there. So, Galaxy of Fame, cool idea, but the same problem it has with Dice Sphere. Trying to find your particular star, like a month down the track, it's just
pretty
impossible.
difficult.
But that is Friday Facts 434.
434, yes.
Yep.
Not 343.
Yep, sure. Guesses for next Friday Facts, because it's a wild card now.
Oh, don't know. Maybe future plans?
Future plans, or what didn't make it into 2.0?
Yeah, or what didn't make it, yeah.
I'm going to go with what didn't make it. What didn't make it and isn't making it. Or, okay, I'm allowed to have an or what we almost went through with and then canned after feedback. Yes, I like that one as well.
Yeah.
I like that one as well. Because we know that the floaty brain things got canned, right? I'm wondering what else, like, was worked on, concepted, blah, 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 and then got canned partway through. Probably because of player feedback. Because we had the big LAN with all the content creators and 100 people, but that's not the only one. There's been half a dozen prior to.
Yeah, there's been other people that have had access for a long time that have been giving feedback as well.
Yeah. I've had one of my Monterey's has source code access, and he's had access and has played it 2 years ago, and didn't touch it for a year, and gave feedback at the time, and things have changed vastly since he first played it. So yes, there's been big changes, big things that have changed and been cut and all sorts of things. So yeah, I'm interested to find out what next week's Friday Facts have for us. But with all that said and done, I think we're going to go here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next week for 4, 3, 5, right? Right?
4, 3, yes.
Yep.
I think it's that one.
Yep. All right, we're out. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh, bye.